Well, hello, everybody. This is a late evening, early chat brought to you by myself and Arnold Hunter. Simsalabim, you wish, and the chat is in. So, Arnold Hunter, as we're doing our really fun Jerry Cooney, Scott Frank boxing match, card and dice, Glory Days Boxing makes everything nice, which can be purchased at sidelinestrategies.com, along with Glory Days College Football, Payoff Pitch, all great games, sidelinestrategies.com. Glory Days Boxing and Glory Days College Football brought to you by Anthony Crooks. Payoff Pitch brought to you by Joe Bryant. It's time to catch up with the FOC, and let's see what has to be. I'd like to say hello to Brian Hoxie, Christopher Anderson, Sean D, Pesky Pole, Arnold Hunter says, thank you. You're welcome, my friend. You're welcome. I love that movie, Moana. Check it out. Watch it. Oh, I got a crazy eyebrow over here. Is it over there? Crazy eyebrow. You got Leon Brezhnev eyebrows. Boom, boom. I don't have Leon Brezhnev eyebrows. Who was Leon Brezhnev? Come on, somebody. Who was he? Come on. We're a smart FOC. We know this stuff. SGJ Jamie has joined us. Gary Sorrell. Bears Den 007. I am a sexy son of a beep. So are you, Christopher Anderson. So are you. SGJ Jamie, Premier of the Soviet Union. You are correct. Leon Brezhnev. He was. Yes, he was. So, 4,500. You are correct, Bears Den 007. So how's everyone doing? We had a really fun boxing match. I really do love Glory Days Boxing. Now, I play it on the Excel spreadsheet because it shows off better, and I like setting it up with the visual of the boxing pictures. Scott Frank did not have too many boxing images on Google online, so some fights. He's got 3 or 4 fights out there. 3, 4, 5 fights on YouTube you can find. You can find the Larry Holmes fight, the Ronaldo Snipes fight. He fought good against Snipes. Did I think Snipes won? Yeah, he probably won a close fight, but Scott Frank fought hard, and they got a draw on that one. Holmes beat him. He did hit Holmes with an overhand right. And there were a couple other fights you can find. I think you can find the Chuck Wepner fight, in which he wins the New Jersey State title or defends the New Jersey State heavyweight title. And there's a really fun fight with Mark. Oh, what the hell's his name? A white dude who just got out of prison, who I never seen fight, but it was a fun fight. And I want to say that was on the MSG network or something. Mark Young. There's another, this is a Caucasian fighter. There's another Mark Young who was an African-American fighter, but this was a white guy. And it was actually a fun, you put 2 guys in evenly matched and watch them pound the bejesus out of each other. It's always a good time. Cab, I super chat you, so never play that golf. No, we love the golf game. And you don't need to, you can super chat me if you want, but you don't have to. No, I like the golf game. We'll be discussing that. Chris hates the golf game. I like the golf game. But what's going on with everybody? Christopher, Mark Lee. Mark Lee. Is it Mark Lee for real? I thought it was Mark. You might be right. Mark Lee. I said, what did I say? Mark Young? It might be Mark Lee. It was a good fight. You can find it on YouTube. It was a fun fight. I would show it, but then I get, banned from YouTube because it's not my content. I have to check that, but it's a fun fight. You can see it. I think he just got out of prison, if I was listening correctly. But I took the photos. I use Snippet as it's running, and you can get some decent photos. They're not sharp, but as he says, I hate that golf game. Yes, you do. He says, I am right. Did the Red Sox win tonight? They're playing a Fox game. I think it was a late night game. not an or a late afternoon game. I was busy playing with Wyatt outside. Then we grilled. I'm going to catch up on some DAZN boxing tomorrow morning at some point. What's going on with the FOC? How is it you are to be? 3-1. They win? Did our beloved Boston Red Sox win? They need to go on a winning streak. They need to go on a winning streak. I've been playing a lot of golf to the chagrin of Christopher Anderson, my good friend. We had some Stratomatic baseball on, the 86 Mets. We played some wild games against the 1946 Red Sox. Unfreaking believable, that series. I know the Mets swept them, but wow, 3 out of the 4 games were just nuts. And then the Mets in game 3 beat them 15-2, but it was crazy game. I've also been playing a lot of Axis and Allies. Got to finish up my Axis and Allies 1940, the Pacific. I'm almost done. Japanese on the verge of losing. I play with the basic Axis and Allies rules. One of the rules I don't follow, I let the Allies team up to fight in tandem. If they're, if I use the U.S. and New Zealand together, when it's New Zealand's turn, those units cannot fight again in that round. But you can defend together, but you can't attack. I let them attack together. It makes me, for the game, more fun. So Japan started off early. It's kind of funny. Again, I'm playing as all sides. So you got Japan, the only Axis power in the Pacific, against the Allies, the United States, New Zealand, Australia. Actually, the Anzacs, which is Australia and New Zealand. China is still in the war. The national Chinese under Chiang Kai-shek. We screwed them over, didn't we? Yeah, at the end. Don't give them aid. Let the Chinese and Soviets give the commies all the aid and just wipe them out. Who am I forgetting? Oh, the UK, the British. So it's a lot of fun. Been playing that. And I found this online because I want to use Axis and Allies. Kind of made a game board for the Battle of Dien Bien Phu. We'll modify the rules at some point using Axis and Allies. It won't be I got to modify the rules, though. They're not going to – I have to get it's about a 5-1 advantage for the Vietnam. So – and I'm going to put that up on the channel once I figure out the way I want it. The little pieces sort of fit. It's going to be fun. I have the troop distribution pretty much. I mean, it's not going to be perfect. I got to figure out the air power for France. There's another one we foobarred. Yeah, there's another one we foobarred. Should have just aided the French. And maybe we're not in Vietnam in the 60s. Who knows? Or just left the whole thing alone. But China falls, Korean War, they weren't going to let AKA Indochina go. But you've been playing that. We have Call of Duty. I'm looking over there. Risk Zombie game. We're going to be playing that soon. We have Axis and Allies Zombies. Going to be playing that soon. Again, I don't think those were on the channel. The boards are too big. But maybe the Risk one we can get over here. I play them on the porch. I got a bigger table out there. And we have Axis and Allies Europe 1940 2nd edition. You can actually combine the Europe and Pacific for a mega map. And then we might play a little alternate reality with the European one. What if the Italians stayed with they were actually supposed to be on the Allies side, but, they jumped ship. What if they stayed? Or just roll dice for Allies and just play it out. My favorite thing, a couple of things that General Patton said before. He goes, if you found yourself between the Germans and the Russians, what would you do? He said, I would split my forces and attack both sides. General Patton. All right, let's get back to the chat here. Bears Den 007 says, I am playing 1983 PGA season with player of golf game. I am really enjoying it. What game is that? Is that an older game? So Bears Den 007 says, I'm playing the 1983 PGA season with player of the golf game. I'm really enjoying it. Or is that new game? There's a new golf game out there. The creator of Football Mogul and Baseball Mogul, I believe, did a tabletop golf game. The Cubs, the Bears. The golf game is excellent in your hands. As good as your boxing matches, but thank you very much. Chris is just lost by the terminology. I find that saying the terminology, that's what I love about play games. Once I got the terminology, makes me smile inside and out. And I really do love the golf game. I would like to see play do a horse racing game and a boxing game. Use a similar engine. For boxing, you have 3-minute rounds. So you can do 2 sort of rolls if you wanted. You can do the first 2 minutes and 15 seconds, 2 minutes and 30 seconds, and then the last 30 seconds, call it steal it down the stretch. Bam, there's your boxing game. Okay. Horse racing, similar thing. Horse racing would be out of the gate, turns, down the stretch. 3 rolls maybe, or a combination of dice rolls. Bang. They can do it. Play can do it. And Keith Avalon, I've only interacted with him on email. I would love to have someone on from Play. We're going to get Steve Tower. It's probably the closest we'll be able to get from someone from Play, our good friend Steve Tower. Check out his wonderful channel. But I do like the play games. Baseball, I like. The nooks and crannies, I'm still getting used to. Soccer, I got to play a little more. I've been looking at the bowling game. I actually been looking at the wrestling game, even though I have a lot of wrestling games that I enjoy. I'm learning the squared circle. We're going to bring some of that to the channel. We're going to have Pop's review on again, and hopefully we'll have ST Patrick on again very soon. So lots of good games out there, whether PC or card and dice. Action PC has a wonderful sale this weekend, and they have free stuff. So if you go to the Action PC and you're going to buy anything for $5, go to where it says free and click on all the free stuff, and you get it with your $5 or more purchase. It's Action P. Dave Cook Games. Brian Hoxie. I'm guessing I'm not alone with this, but currently having a few projects going at one time. I have a plethora of projects going. I have to get back to my heavyweight tournament using Title Belt Championship Boxing, text-based with a little animation. Also, we're going to be bringing something to the channel using that game because you can kind of play as a fighter. We're going to take miserable, not mismatches in a way, like Tyson, Marvis Frazier, the wipeout. Kenny Norton, Dwayne Bobbitt, the wipeout. And we're going to play the fighter that loses and see if we can make it do a little better with the tactics we use and the little training we use, and see if we can possibly last longer, if not win. So we'll take fights like that. Joe Louis versus Tammy Moriello. Things where, just blowouts. We'll have a little fun with that. Again, Brian Hoxie, lots of projects at one time. I grabbed a game today and thought to myself, now which dice and how many do I use with this? LOL. I'm the same way. I really wanted to somehow get this on the tabletop to show you guys today. And we might set it up and show you, but I have to figure out the rules. The way we're going to use Axis and Allies. We're going to do the Battle of DNBN Fu. Get to as close as possible with the troop distribution and stuff. Because there's no DNBN Fu battle. I'd like to get on PC because it's easier for me. That battle fascinates me, along with the Battle of Isla Dwana, the Anglo-Zulu War. Lower, slower board gamer. You remember him, our good friend Chris from Delaware. Used to come on the show, do funny voices. Remember, we gave Kermit the Frog a coke habit, hooker habit, and gambling habit. That was great times. Great times. Steeler fan, how you doing, my friend? Arnold Hunter, have you played the Squared Circle wrestling game yet? I've looked at it. I've not played it yet. I have to sit there. It's not hard. I've watched a lot of videos on it. There's quite a few more people. Pop's Reviews playing it. Solo Promoter. I went brain dead. Someone else just started playing it. I can't think of the channel. I can see him. I can't think of the channel. Rob Explanation Point starting to play it. So, how have you played it, Arnold? It's a cool looking game. I enjoy it, watching it. I've done a little practice with it. I have to figure out how. I think we're going to do some sort of an Excel spreadsheet like we do Glory Days Boxing to show it off. You can play a quick play. You can play it out. And you can modify it the way you want. So ST, and he gives you a lot of wrestlers for those books. You have to buy the rule book one first, and that is the NWA or Mid-Atlantic, but the NWA version, Mid-Atlantic. You have to buy that one first, and then you can buy any other version, and because that has the rules set in the charts, I believe. And sometimes there's special charts in the different books. PDFs are very cheap. I recommend buying the PDFs to see if you like it. So, and check out the videos to make sure you'll like it. I think you will. Bears Den saying hello to Steeler fan. SGJ Jamie. Problem, we did aid. Yes, we did. We did aid the French. We did. We didn't aid them enough. But an election in France and a new government had no interest in Vietnam, and we decided to pick up the ball. You are correct. I'm just saying we should have bombed the crap out of the mountains. You're already in it. You either stay out of it, but once you get in, again, this is revisionist. Looking back, it's just funny. I've been watching a lot of video. I read a lot about it when I was young. I'm not an expert, but you just see, mistakes. It's easy to see mistakes or what I perceive to be mistakes. Either stay out of it, but again, China was lost to the communists because we didn't aid Chiang Kai-shek really. The Korean War because we don't talk about it. And all of a sudden the North says, oh, they're not interested in the South, they invade. I mean, we didn't even give the South tanks because we were afraid they were going to invade the North. They had a glorified police force, and they fought as hard as they could with some artillery pieces. You can't do that. You go back, we're a wonderful country, and we make stupid mistakes over and over again, whether overseas or at home. Why don't we fix things at home? The infrastructure, healthcare. Why don't we take care of the elderly, children, the homeless? And this goes with any president. No matter who's president, it doesn't matter. Maybe I like one president better than the other, or one party better than the other. But no one fixes anything. You're supposed to work together to fix stuff like we do in the FOC, right? Jaws. Anyway, shark sightings at the Cape once again. I'm just saying, you gotta learn to work together, people. Some ideas are good from one side, some ideas are good from the other side. Find the happy medium. You have to. This is nonsense. The infrastructure is falling apart and no one does anything. People get killed every day in Chicago. No one does anything. California's gone crazy. No one does anything. Anyhow. Just because you don't like someone, sometimes they have good ideas. You got to go with the good ideas and work together, regardless of what aisle you're on. But I don't know. That's just me. That's what you get when you get an early morning, late night chat. And we talk about everything. All right, let's go back to happy stuff. Downey Games Golf. Okay, cool. I've not played any Downey games. Is that quick play? I believe it was a quick play. Hey, our good friend Comics with Bueller on the road again. Just can't wait to get on the road again. Buying comics with my friends. I just can't wait to get on the road again. Comics with Bueller. We got to have him on with a chat. What Comic-Cons have you been to? I got to catch up on a lot of videos there. And how's the van and how's your health and family more importantly? Chris does not like golf. Our good friend Bernard Strom, Sports Replays, we're going to have him on the chats soon. Iron Sheik. Iron Shirk. What's an Iron Shirk? I know what you mean, Sheik. Iron Sheik was he was, okay, if I read correctly and it was true, he was a bodyguard to the Shah at one point or in that. And he was not, he played a character. So he was a good wrestler. Actually never touched alcohol or drugs till he got into wrestling, like professional wrestling. He has an interesting story. He just passed away. God rest his soul. Chris Anderson, I have to work with Al every day, and you love it, Christopher. You love it. SGJ Jamie. Hindsight 2020, but we should have stayed as advisors and gave the South all they needed. Vietnamization of the end. Yep. I don't disagree. I'm just saying, if you're going to do it, do it. If you're not going to do it, don't do it. Don't do it half-ass. I was just watching, again, I've read about the Tet Offensive a lot when I was younger, watched documentaries. Go back, look at the Tet Offensive. The U.S. won every battle in the Tet Offensive, drove the Viet Cong out of every city, held Khe Sanh, and the media played it like we lost. We didn't lose. But they play. I mean, again, I'm not saying we should have been there. I'm just saying the media gave the Viet Cong and the North Vietnamese and Ho Chi Minh a political victory in our country. It's numbnuts. I don't get it. I'm not saying to support. I'm just telling you the truth. They attacked every major city in the South. They were driven out of every major city after the Tet Offensive. Look it up, folks. The Viet Cong were no longer formidable. The North Vietnamese were, but we basically, and they didn't take Khe Sanh. And now they have revisionist history. Well, Khe Sanh was a feint. They sure got a lot of guys killed in a feint. It might have been. I don't know. It just goes back when you look at stuff. And this is stuff I've read about my whole life, watched documentaries. I watch both sides. I'm not saying, of course, if you want to, I think that everyone should have a free country. I don't agree with communism, but, and again, it was a different time there. You had to stop the spread of that. No one does better under communism. No one does better under socialism. Look it up. They just don't. I'm not saying we have the best system. A lot of issues in our system. We don't rebuild our country, infrastructure. We have power issues. Hey, numbnuts, not you guys, numbnuts who are supposed to be our leaders. I live in the Northeast. I need gas. Okay. I need gas. I need heat. Okay. Don't tell me how I should get my heat or gas when it's cold. Maybe fix things. Okay. Fix things. In Ireland, they want to kill over 200,000 cows or something, or 50 for the atmosphere, because it's not healthy, because cows fart. And I'm not joking. Look it up. Those people who brought that policy to Ireland, God, I hope it doesn't pass. They want to, because, the environment. Are you out of your effing mind, you idiots? People are starving. People don't have enough milk. And you want to kill 200,000 cows or whatever it is. It's asinine. You need to take care of human beings first. Human beings of all races, all colors, all creeds, all sexual orientations. Here's another thing. You're either a man or a woman. I said it. When you're born. It's simple. Now, whatever you think you are later on, God bless you. But I'm just saying, science. That's science. I'm not even giving religion. That's science. That's science. Can't we all just, you got to work together. Hey, our good friend JD, the dragon. We need JD on a chat. We should have JD on during football, well, anytime, actually. But football season, he's a big Broncos fan. D. Scott Howard, how you doing? The GOAT Whisperer. People saying hi to D. Scott. Bears Den. Absolutely. I've been talking about Chicago for years. No one should live like that. Do you think everyone's horrible? Like everyone's a bad person in those neighborhoods? Majority of those people are nice people. They're just in a bad spot. No one protects them. Why? Why should anyone live in that fear? Why? But again, no one wants to do the dirty work. You do the dirty work, they're going to call you a racist. Criminals are criminals. That's the way I look at it. Don't get it. Anyway. Comics with you in Dallas, and things are fantastic all around, my friend. Excellent. I was watching a video a while back. I remember you have some health issues. You're having issues with the van, the comic van. Everyone's saying hello to D. Scott Howard. Bears Den 007. Yes, Downey Games Golf is a quick play. They give you lots of golfers for the season. I found online 1984 golf guide Every tournament is listed with the final round. Cool. Now, is that actually one dice roll, a whole one dice roll for the turn round? How does that work? Tell me, Bears. I've not played any Downey games. I've looked at them. I've not played them. Maybe I got to try them. Dave Gardner, how you doing, my friend? Uncle Dave. The media is evil, still is. Yeah, it is, because it divides people. I'm being honest. I don't give a poop who you vote for. But my God, let's use some common sense. Whoever gets in, they need to work with the other side, and the other side needs to work with them. I'm going to say it over and I'm going to say it again. We need to help the elderly, children, people with disabilities. We have a homeless situation. We don't take care of it. I am not a raving liberal. I am the farthest thing from a raving liberal. I am a humanist. Okay? There are things I see I don't understand, and I'm not a wonderful human being. I have my faults. I have many faults. Ask Christopher Anderson. He'll tell you all my faults, my buddy. You have to take care of people. Human beings come first. Again, the earth, yes, I get it. The environment, I get it. People have gone way too far. They've become cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Look who funds the green stuff in Europe. Look who funded it. You know, for all those countries, shut off their gas. Don't make gas. Don't pump oil. The Russians. Go look it up, people. And then who do they have to go get oil from? The Russians. Funding what? A war. Again, I'm just saying. If you're Ukraine, you want your independence, right? Right? Go back. Why is there an invasion right now? Because they gave up what? What did they give up, people? What did they give up to be independent? Which they could have been independent already, but they gave up too much. What technology, what weapon did they give up? No one would have invaded them if they had this. What weapon did they give up? Come on, you guys know this, right? If you're a country, you never put your faith in somebody else. You protect yourself. What did they give up? What did President Clinton made them give up? And he's even talked about it. And I've said it for years. When they first did it, I go, they're numbnuts. I would have never given that up because that assures my country to stay alive. You have basically the Russians went, and again, once they got a nutbag leader, they're going to try to go do what they always did. D. Scott Howard. I lost too many friends in Vietnam for this discussion. You had to be. I know relatives. I've had relatives, friends who went, older friends. I'm not saying it was right, wrong. I'm saying if you go all in. If you don't go at all. It's horrible. It's horrible. JD, I'll join Al. Hell yeah, especially. Oh yeah, we're gonna have a football chat once a week, baby. I don't want to look at California. I wish them well. Jim L. Hope all is well. Dave Gardner. Oh, Dave Gardner and ID Gesture have great videos on Downey Golf. Oh, cool. But roles for one player can be solved in one role, sometimes three, if they need to look at skills or score chart. I can play a whole tournament in over an hour. Is it a tournament you can play? As Chris Anderson says, this chat isn't long enough for me to talk about Al's faults for the last 17 years. I love you too, my friend. I love you too. Yeah, so that's going to be fun. We're going to have football chat weekly with JD. Big Broncos fan. That's some fun stuff. Patriots are going to be interesting this year. I don't know what they're going to do. I don't know. It's late. It's early. I have coffee. Tournament. Very cool. Very cool. Very cool. Anyhow, enough of that stuff. More happy stuff. Actually, I'm not happy. I just felt like discussing it. Treat people the way I'm be treated. I say it all the time. I'm far from perfect. I'm far from perfect. We're all far from perfect. We all do stupid things. Hopefully, we do less stupid things as we get older. But anyhow, enough of my rant, which was a polite rant. Nothing bad in what I said. Nothing. History is interesting. We tend to repeat it. I don't get it. We don't learn. Nobody learns, including me. Probably. I've repeated my history. I've made the same mistakes at times, and at other times I've corrected my mistakes. See this? I do not swim at the Cape. The Sharks are back. Shark Week's coming up. I love Shark Week. God, I love Shark Week. I want to see sharks jump out of the water. I want to see sharks eat stuff. And I want to see sharks, big sharks. Shark Week is cool. Brian Hoxie. How game makers make sports games make you feel like you've actually played, watched a real game. It's amazing to me. Yes. Glory Days Boxing is one of that. I did, and I've always, what we did earlier tonight, we did Jerry Cooney, Scott Frank. I don't think any other boxing game I have has Scott Frank. I can't remember if Title Bout 2 on the PC has Scott Frank. I don't think so. I could be wrong. And that's a fine game from Jim Trunzo. And Legends of Boxing on the PC is a fine game. Question the ratings for Rocky Marciano at times, but that's just me. But I always wanted to see Jerry Cooney, Scott Frank. I thought it would have been an interesting fight. They're in the same time period, sort of. Scott Frank, 83, loses to Holmes, fights one more time, then fights 10 years after that, I think, and that's it. But I think it would have been a fun fight. I think Cooney would have won in real life. We had a fun fight. I won't spoil it for you, but it went pretty much interesting. So, play games I find fascinating. How well they play. The golf game, again, I know, Chris, to the chagrin of my good friend Christopher Anderson, the golf game's marvelous. And if you don't want to play the tournament mode, there's no law saying you have to play the tournament mode. If you want to play the tournament mode, play the tournament mode. You can play skins game. You can play just take 2 golfers and play the hole. You can make a card for yourself and play the holes. You can do whatever you want. We're doing a KO tournament to whittle it down to 16 of the all-time great golfers. And then from there, I think we probably will play 18 holes per 2 golfers. We might throw 4 golfers together or 3. I don't know. Probably 2. The baseball game is fascinating. Lots of nooks and crannies. I'm still not an expert. I'm never an expert at any game. I still make mistakes sometimes with Strat. I still make mistakes with Glory Days Boxing. But when you're streaming, you have to think in your head. And sometimes I go, I just made a mistake. But I got to, if I can't quickly recover, like think of what I'm supposed to do, well, we're just going with it. And that's what happens when you stream. Now, if you're playing offline, I mean, there are times I'll stop and go, I did this wrong. I have to figure it out. You've heard me say that. When you're playing offline, you can take your time, and that's cool. Bears Den 007. Don't have to worry about sharks in Lake Michigan, LOL. Some big sharks out at the Cape. People like, the sharks are back. Yeah, you stop. And then again, I'm glad they don't kill seals anymore. But the seal population grew. The water got slightly warmer. Everyone's like, it's the water. It's listen. Some of it's the water. It's not the water. The seal population grew. That's what the sharks eat. They follow the food. What do they say? Follow the money. They follow the food. People, the water got warmer. How come to those? They always want to bring it back to that. They don't eat the water. And sharks do swim in cold water also. Great whites even. They follow the food source. Why can't... It's amazing to me when you're having discussions with certain types of people. They're like this. It's the water. It got warm. No, it's not. I'm not saying the water hasn't got warmer. I mean, it probably has, but it's the food. Bernard Strom Sports Replay. Speaking as an older person, you still make the same amount of mistakes. You just don't give a shit anymore. I agree. It is not marvelous. Jim Arnold. Yeah, Jim Trunzo's re-rating 200 heavyweights for title bout 2. I don't know if that's going to be part of the. I'm assuming they'll do something with the PC game if you want to upgrade. Jim Trunzo's ratings are very good, very good. I'm not saying they're perfect. No one's ratings are perfect. I think Glory Days Boxing's ratings are very good. Legends of Boxing, good, solid. I think Legends of Boxing game favors the boxer more than the pressure fighter tremendously, but it's still, the ratings are good. And you can adjust them if you want, but I don't. You can make fighters in Legends of Boxing. You can make fighters in PC. You can make boxers in Title Bout 2. It's a lot of fun. I've made a few. I made Murray Sutherland. And we made Tyson Fury, but we didn't really make Tyson Fury. Jim Trunzo was kind enough to give you top 12 heavyweights of today on a spreadsheet. You just had to punch them in to make your fighters. But we made Murray Sutherland, middleweight. We're going to make, there's no Curtis Parker card, another solid middleweight. Not great, but it was a good TV fighter. Really fun TV fighter. Curtis Parker out of Philadelphia. And there's no title bout 2 card for him, I'm pretty sure. Chris Anderson says, Al would be a tasty morsel for a shark. You know it. I'm tasty. I'm yummy. I ain't going in the water. I ain't going. When I was a kid, after I saw Jaws, I wouldn't go in the bathtub, let alone a pool or the ocean. Anyhow. Oh, boy. What else have we been playing? I've been playing some PC Replay basketball offline. We're going to bring that to the channel. I played a little bit of Action PC basketball. Steve Tate did a basketball version of what he did with the baseball files. And I get to play as Bernard King on the Knicks. Yes. Bears done 007. I was going to buy History Maker Golf. The amount of money to buy History Maker Golf, it's pricey. It's pricey. Not overly pricey, but you have to spend. Downey Games was the same amount for players, the courses for 83 season all-time golfers, and their tournament courses. Play the games that you want to play that fit you. I always say that. There's no good game, bad game. There's games you like, and there's games you don't like. Play the games you like. I like... and it is good in our community that people play a lot of different games. It took me a long time to pull the trigger on play games because it was strange to me. It was strange to me. You know, the wording, just like Chris, like he doesn't understand the wording. It was like speaking Latin or speaking Greek, as they say. I'm like, what do they mean? What do they mean? But it's fun. I enjoy them. And there's so many different games out there and so many people playing games. And you could see. And again, when I do videos, they're not really tutorials. Golf, I try to explain a bit because I seem to understand it. But there are great tutorial videos out there. Marco Scola does wonderful tutorial videos. Dave Gardner, baseball demos. ID Jester, Tenacious Earl, many others I'm forgetting. I know I'm forgetting people. Pop's Review. I hate when I forget people. But there's a lot of good tutorial videos out there. Bob's Tabletop Sports, wonderful tutorial on play, History Maker Baseball. So I always look for tutorials. I look for gameplay. I look for people. Are they having fun with the game? And that's how I decide if I want to try a game. Got lots of games behind me. Got lots of games over here. I bought some war games, some zombie games. I didn't go nuts. I bought mid-level, really lower level type of games, meaning the learning curve isn't bad for the military games. I mean, it's Axis and Allies. I played it when I was a young teenager, older teenager. And because I'm just playing to have fun, I adjust the rules the way I want, staying within the framework of the game. And I don't see a problem with that because that's all about having fun. Chris Anderson, I remember you telling me you had Bernard King. Bernard King was one of my favorite players. Loved Bernard King. I just loved him. Don Heston with the Wilford Brimley. What's that called? Emoji or icon? I couldn't go in a pool for years after seeing Caddyshack. Oh, that's a good one. The Poop. Caddyshack, such a fun movie. Sports Time Machine, our good friend Mr. Utah Mike. Check out that wonderful channel. Dice United PC game. I'm looking forward to that. That hasn't come out yet. I'm looking forward to that. I played the card and dice version. It's fun. I played the card and dice version of the hockey game. Stone Cold Hockey. Enjoy the PC game. I haven't rolled a game in hockey in a while. I got to start doing that again. And since we have a new camera set up, maybe we'll show some of that on the channel. Dave Gardner does a lot of great stuff with hockey. And I think it's important to play games you have fun with. If you're going to stream or upload, play games you know and you have fun with. And that's how you hopefully can build your channel. It's not easy, but you can do it if you want. And we're here to support you. Bears in 007. I do like what I saw with History Maker Golf. It was the same amount of money. Donnie offered more bang. Oh, if it offers more bang for your buck, you do it, my friend. Brian Hoxie. Man, we have a good... What the hell? What the heck time? It's 1:06 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, Massachusetts, US of A. Brian Hoxie. I played the tournament mode of History Maker Golf a few times. When I first got the game, it was super fun, but I really like coming up with crazy projects like knockouts. Brian did a wonderful knockout. Mine's different than his, but he did a wonderful knockout tournament, and I followed it on Facebook on the play.com Facebook group. Knockouts or team challenges, same as History Maker Baseball. Absolutely. You got to have fun with the games. There is our good friend who is the ringside physician for Jerry Cooney versus Scott Frank tonight, Dave Little. He's got a wrestling up on his channel, women's wrestling. I'm going to be listening to that tomorrow while I do some work around the house. We're going to get some Phil Singer wrestling back up on the channel. We're going to get some Tom Vogel wrestling PC on the channel. And eventually we will hopefully get the Squared Circle wrestling up on the channel. What I like about Tom Vogel's game is very logical. I wish with the tag teams, it would say who's in, but you just have to decide who's in first. And as you're doing it, whether you're streaming or not, in your head, say, okay, when they make a tag, the next team, like the Young Bucks will say, Matt Jackson starts, it's a tag, Nick Jackson comes in. You just kind of keep track of it in your head to have fun. Bears Den 007. Dice United is a good game. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Fun game. Fun game. Gary Brown makes very good games. Legends of Boxing, Stone Cold Hockey, Dice United. Those are the ones I've played and I've enjoyed them. And he's a nice, very friendly also. Another friendly. ASG makes good games. Some people say they're pricey. I got a fun bowling game from them that we'll put up on the channel, but I'm going to wait because I think they're going to go PC with that. I still have trouble scoring bowling. Nurse Teresa is trying to explain it to me. I'm like, I don't get it. I get it, but I don't. Oh, speaking of bowling, Sports Time Machine had a fun bowling game on his channel. Check that out. He's got the 78, PC Stratomatic Yankees on. All good stuff. Salvador, America. What does Mr. Vogel make? Wrestling's finest. Some people think it's a high ticket price. I didn't. You get thousands upon thousands of wrestlers for one purchase. I'm going to be honest, I've spent more money buying Filsinger Games cards than I did for my one purchase of Tom Vogel. And I love all the games. I love them. There's also a wonderful free wrestling game, Dice Wrestling. Yeah, Dice Wrestling is free on Sports Replay Field of Dreams or something like that. It's free. It's like an APA. You roll your dice. It's APA-ish. You look at charts. It's Dice Wrestling. Field of Dreams Sports Replays or Sports Replays Field of Dreams. Go back, find one of my old videos. Ric Flair, Iron Sheik, Bruno Sammartino, Hulk Hogan. And I have the link where you can get the game. It's free. You just have to download it. Marvelous free stuff on that. Quick play games are on there. Marvelous stuff. Move that over here. Who has wonderful quick? Mike Owens has a lot of fun quick play games that are free that he's developed. Let me move this back over here. So sometimes you can find wonderful free games. You can find wonderful demos to see. I've said it before, I like when there's demos so you can see if you like a game because I think that's important. Sports Time Machine, our good friend, Mr. Utah Mike. It's pocket bowling. I enjoyed that. That was fun. I think what you have to do, Mike, I wanted to leave a message and I forgot. The game sound, if you can lower the game sound, because sometimes, again, see, I do a lot of listening. Sometimes I couldn't hear you well. The game sound was too loud at times. So, but that's just me. I watch when I can, and I do a lot of listening with a lot of the YouTube channels I follow. And I follow many a YouTube channel. I listen to many YouTube videos. Brian Hoxie, just look back at your current knockout History Maker Golf project. So many crazy outcomes. I look forward to every time I see you're playing another group. So entertaining. We're gonna try to get 2 groups done tomorrow if I have time. But been really enjoying a lot of time with little Wyatt, our grandson, and the dog and the cat. So, and my wife. So, I do like streaming, but sometimes I can't. And I want to play that one all online. In the knockout tournament. It's fun. I really do enjoy that. Bears Den 007. I'm waiting for more seasons with Stone Cold Hockey, 60-61, 70-71, and the 3 Blackhawk Cup seasons. Those were in the 60s, right? The Blackhawk Cup seasons. Were they one in they won one in the 60s, right? Or was it 50s? I think there was the 60s. Thank you, Dave Little. This is it right here. Sportsreplays.net. Okay. Thank you very much, our good friend Uncle Dave Little. Sportsreplays.net, and then just search Dice Wrestling. Go to downloads and just look for the wrestling game. And there's actually a wrestling game on Excel. I never could figure out how to play that one. It's like 4 dice or something wrestling. I could never figure out how to play that one. They didn't have a good demo and the rules. They have the rules. It's just confusing to me. It's probably easy, but when I start, if I don't get the rules like this, I lose interest. Dice Wrestling plays like APA. You roll a red and white die. You read the red die first and then the white die or something. I believe it's like that, or lowest to highest or something. I think it's a red and white die. And then you go to your proper charts if it says to go to a chart, or you go to the move. Fun game, free, lots of wrestlers. No Andre, though. But they have lots of wrestlers. You can have fun with that. And you can mod it. And I've only played singles matches. They have tag teams rated. I played single matches. They have other types of matches. But the singles matches were fun and quick. Chris's Dice Wrestling game. Is that what? Okay, so it's Chris's. I said Dice Wrestling. Chris's Dice Wrestling. And you can find that for free. Thank you, Uncle Dave Gardner. And thank you, Uncle Dave Little. Sportsreplays.net. So that you can see it's the whole link right there. And on YouTube, I'm on StreamYard, so I can't. If you're watching on YouTube, most likely you are, right? You click on that link and you go right there. Go right there now. Come back. If you want, download the game. You can print up the cards. You don't even have to print them on regular paper. Or if you have Snippet, it's a wonderful tool. You Snippet, put it on Excel. There's also an Excel helper, which I was rolling. When I have my videos, I was rolling the dice. And I was using the Excel helper just to bring up the charts and tracking. You can actually play the game in Excel where you click on it and it gives you numbers, but you can roll your own dice. Sports Time Machine. I ended up killing the sounds of the bowling after I realized the sounds were, yeah, they're loud. And you do a great job with bowling. So if you can't, yeah, that happens with games sometimes. What I've found out, even if you can't lower the game, you can lower, well, I can lower the sound coming from my PC. So I will bring, like, I wonder if this will show up if I do this. No, let's see. No, you can't see that. Okay. I just go to the sound on the PC and I bring it down from 100 to 85 or 80. And then, because I use OBS, I bring that down. So it brings the sound down. And I also, if you can bring the sound down for some games, I do that also. So once again, free wrestling game on this site, https:// or whatever, www.sportsreplays.net. And the game is called Chris's Dice Wrestling Game. Appa-ish. Fun. Free. Lots of free games out there. So if you know, that's what got me into wrestling games. I played that and I thought, I want more. And then I finally pulled the string on Filsinger's. Tom Vogel I did first, which I really do enjoy the game. I play that offline. I gotta bring that back to the channel. I tell you, I love the battle royals for Tom Vogel's wrestling game. So much fun. I wish you could make your own tag teams, but because he does everything logically, and if they didn't tag team, there's no tag team ratings. So great game. I recommend the Tom Vogel game. Check it out. Tom Vogel's Tom Vogel's wrestling's finest. Email him. He'll give you a free demo. Again, people look at the price tag and they go, "Oh my God!" But you get thousands of wrestlers. I've spent more money, and I don't regret it, on Filsinger games, wrestling cards. You have to do what's right for you. So again, you do it whether it's monetarily or you just don't like the game, but he does give you a free demo, and that's awesome. Bears done 007, 60-61, 2009, 2010. All right, so they won one in this. That's right, they won 2009, 2010. Wow, they won that many. I stopped following hockey in that time period. 2012, 2013, 2014, 2015. Well, 60-61, you had Bobby Hull, right? You had, I can see the guy. I can see a couple of players. I just can't remember the name. But Bobby Hull, definitely. Oh, what was that other guys? Start name some hockey players from that team, from the 60-61 team. Oh, I can see them. Drives me nuts when I can't remember names. SGJ Jamie. Also, besides thousands of wrestlers, you get all the new sets they come out with as well. Yeah, you're talking about Mikita. That's it. Stan Mikita, right? I couldn't remember his name. Great player. Yep, Stan Mikita. Thank you. Yeah. You get they updated AEW, they updated Ring of Honor, not AEW, I'm sorry, Ring of Honor, other sets. Yeah, it's good value in my opinion. I wish with Tom Vogel, and again, I don't know how easy it is to do things. I wish you could put some more photos in the game, like some action photos. You can put you can put a regular photo, maybe some, if someone wanted to put some action photos of wrestlers, as they're doing say it's a slam. Maybe you can put like a slam or a special move. Put that in, so when they're doing that move, it goes with a photo if you can find one. I don't know. I like stuff like that. It's a great game, logical, fun. From what I've seen of the Squared Circle, St. Patrick's game, logical. Filsinger games, logical, but more. You have to, like, say if you're wrestling Andre the Giant, right? And it's Ric Flair versus Andre the Giant. Well, chops won't be effective. And again, yes, I know wrestling's fake, but we're pretending now, right? Everything would be to the legs to try to take the big man down. Again, if you want to see a great Andre the Giant match, go to Daily Motion, type in Stan Hansen versus Andre the Giant. Phenomenal. I watch that every couple of months. I have the link saved. I watch it every couple of months. It's in Japan. It's awesome. Glenn Hall. Okay. I'm not as familiar with Glenn Hall, but I know Stan Mikita, Bobby Hall. Esposito's brother, but I don't think Esposito's brother was on that 60-61 team, but Tony Esposito played for the Blackhawks. A lot of great games out there. Fun projects. I think of projects all the time. I'm still like, I got to finish my 69. I'm down to the Final Four. And when I do finish it, we're playing with a DH. I have another fun way of playing baseball. I've not pulled the trigger on it yet to show. It's bring your best 10, meaning you get your starting. So you're never really going to use a reliever. Okay. You bring your best pitcher, you bring your best fielders, and you bring your DH. Doesn't mean you can't change them in the next game, but once it's sort of like soccer in a way, but without subs. And I've thought about, well, maybe one reliever and one, say, position player. You play without injuries, obviously, and you just play your best 9. And when a pitcher gets fatigued, he's fatigued. So you can say, well, Jesus, the pitchers in the old days might have an advantage. Well, yes. You could also say with the newer pitchers, you give them an extra inning. So, or if you want to have an extra pitcher, DH, I guess. But all kinds of funny rules you can come up with. I want to eventually do bring your best 10 tournament. And we'll probably stick with 60s teams or prior, 70s and prior, 80s and prior. So we're not running into the guy who only pitches 5 innings, because that would be a little more difficult. You'd have to probably give him a couple of pitchers there. Or you can just say he gets tired, if he gets fatigued. SGJ Jamie. The style of baseball is baseballs in the 1880s. That style of baseballs is the 1880s. Possibly. Probably is. I just think it would be fun. I would probably, like I said, I'd find evenly matched pitchers. Either they go 8 or 9 innings and just play it out. So even if you went to extra innings, the guy's fatigued at some point, and meaning things that are normally strikeouts are going to be singles now. Phil and Tony were not in the 61 team. Glenn Hall was famous for being so nervous before every game he threw up. Oh. Sports Time Machine. What game would you do that with? I probably would do that initially with Stratomatic Card and Dice. And I might do it with some of the basic teams I have. I mean, you always have basic teams, but I have when I got back into Stratomatic Card and Dice baseball, I bought they had these sales, and I just bought everything I could that I wanted. I bought all the old teams that were just basic. They've come out with the 1930s gem set. I'm probably going to purchase that at some point soon. I'm hoping. I really had wished they did the 1939 Red Sox, though. And yeah, I have it on the PC. I get that. I try to stay away from the PC stuff for Strat. They've had some good sales too, but I've gotten everything I wanted. Same thing with Action PC, Dave Cook games, wonderful sales recently, but I have all that stuff. They have the new. I didn't pull the trigger on the new Negro League seasons. I was going to, I should have, but they'll come back around for sale because they had this. I believe those seasons have some good Satchel Pages in there. I love Satchel Paige. Maybe we bring back the time machine, Satchel Paige. So, but I think I would do it with Stratomatic. Yeah. Card and dice. It's something you have to do card and dice. History Maker Baseball, I've thought up a few fun things. You could do it History Maker Baseball too. You just have to adapt the rules. You could actually, History Maker Baseball, it goes by era, and it says, okay, the pitcher starts to get he gets semi-fresh after this inning. Usually it's after the fourth. You could just look up stuff if you have the ability on Baseball Reference. I like to use Baseball Reference. You can look up, how many innings did they normally pitch in that season? Okay, that's what he pitched. He starts to get fatigued after that inning. Because if someone normally pitched 7 innings, they couldn't have been too tired, until after the 8th. Similar to what Strat does. The beauty about card and dice games is you can have homebrew rules. It's tougher to do that with a PC game. Dave Cook games, in a way, you can have homebrew rules because there's so many options that you can just click off. Mark Jones. I have most of the Negro League seasons for Strat PC. Cool. I like Strat PC. I just played. I can't win with the 1920 Chicago Cubs. I don't know how many. I'm sorry, Chicago White Sox. I don't know how many close games I've lost in the first, 12 games. Man, I can score runs. They don't pitch. I get horrible rolls. The dice gods do not like them. And that's on the PC. Brian Hoxie. I can't remember. Did you ever play History Maker Express on the channel? No, I have not played History Maker Express on the channel. I like History Maker Baseball, the long version, regular version. But I've seen people play History Maker Express, maybe someday. But even with Glory Days College Football, I don't play the short version. And to be honest with you, if you don't keep stats, and I know that's the reason people play, you like to keep stats, but if you don't keep stats playing Glory Days College Football, even playing play-by-play, that game flies. When you keep stats, obviously it slows you down. I want to bring that back, but I want to do it card and dice. We've done card and dice, but we used, because I had the PDFs, I actually have bought the hard copies for the great teams and the first college season. I'm really looking forward to Anthony doing NFL football. And I hope he does. If he doesn't do a full season, I hope he does like Super Bowl sets or great team sets, because that's what I like. The game flows. It's logical. The college football. Just like his boxing game. I'm looking forward to his wrestling game. That's going to be fun. His baseball game, when he gets there, it's going to be fun. Oh, Play.com, they're going to be doing a military game at some point. I look forward to that because I think that can be a lot of fun. Sports Time Machine. Along with a friend of mine, we were doing Strat PC Filthy League. We have 32 teams, 16 each. We start with 9 guys, no platoons. We are limited to 9,000 OPS for each team. I guess you could do that, right? You can adjust what the players are. These are some loaded teams. That's cool. And it's all about having fun. That's what it's about. When I was watching videos on Axis and Allies, just to remember how to play, I've come across some really, really fun, good channels, tutorials, because I'm like, I don't want to read the rules. I want to just understand and then go through the rules, right? On base plus slugging. Yeah, OPS, yeah. And the guy said something that I always say. Goes, listen, you can have homebrew rules. The most important thing is play the game, play it to have fun. If you switch some things, it's not a big deal. You're not playing in a tournament. You're not, play the game the way you want. And that's the way I've been playing Axis and Allies. I stay within the framework of the rules, but like I stated, I let allies team up to attack their enemy. Because they would in real life if they could. Now, maybe, like if they're not near each other, I don't let them do it. But it's a game. I have fun. If I use, say it's the U.S. turn, and the Anzacs, the Australians, the New Zealanders have some planes in the air, I say, well, it's a joint effort. They cannot use any of the forces that are used in the joint effort with the US or the joint effort with the British. They can't use them when their turn comes around and vice versa. And you really, like I said, I mostly combined the US and Anzac forces because I just kept we were making planes down in Australia. And it's funny when you play against, I started to try to use a decider die to do what I was going to do. And you know what? I'm just playing to have fun. I play all sides to the best of my ability. And once Japan lost a major naval battle, the dice gods weren't with them. It was just like the Battle of Midway, in a way. It was the tide turns. I was able to take the Philippines, and then at the US, I was going to reinvade it. And I'm like, why? Just bypass it. In the game, I mean, because the avenue to victory was elsewhere. But it's a lot of fun. And like I said, if you're just joining, I was able to find, so what I did was, online is wonderful, isn't it? I found, this is a game map from some game with Dien Bien Phu. Again, I'm fascinated by this battle. Okay. So what I did was, I did a snippet, and then I enlarged it. I made it into 4 sections, and then I taped it together, and I made myself a game board on regular paper. It's pretty flimsy, but it will do. And I might put it on cardboard. I don't know. But the Axis and Allies pieces will sort of fit. I'm going to try to find the game. I mean, they have... You can actually read this if you bring it up online and you enlarge it. And it gives you the reinforcements. And we'll use some of that. And I'll try to get the distribution of troops as accurate as I can. I do know the French had 10 tanks, which I knew that already. They had some air support, but that air support came from around Hanoi. Most of it was supplies, but they also had bombing runs. I don't think the Vietnam, the Ho Chi Minh's forces, General Giap, I don't think they lost any artillery pieces, and they artillery the snot out of the French in the valley. So I have to figure out how I'm going to play within the frame of Axis and Allies, sort of, but you have to come up with different. The artillery is going to I got to change it. Like normally in Axis and Allies, artillery hits at a 2. Maybe because they have the high ground, I'll do it as a 3. And then on bombing runs for the French, I don't think they hit too many artillery pieces because they're dug into the mountains. Maybe we say you get them on a 1 and maybe we use a decider die. It's got to be real difficult. And it's not going to be like, again, Axis and Allies, it's a continuation till one of the sides retreats or the attacking side says, I've had enough. And you just keep going back and forth. We're going to change that up a bit too. I started thinking about rules and now I'll just write them down. Diop, I said Giap, I'm sorry. Yeah, he knew his tactics, very smart. The other thing the French could have done when they realized they were getting encircled was just leave. And I get it, they're trying to draw them into a big battle. But think about it, the French were, and again, they would have to get out of the valley before they got encircled. But if you had left, you would have possibly forced the Vietnam, the communists, to attack sooner than they wanted. And maybe you catch them that way. And then they're all there. They can't move fast. You actually have the ability, once you got to a certain point, where you're slightly more mobile than they were. And maybe you suck them into a battle they don't want to get into. But this is all hindsight, reading stuff, watching the documentaries over and over again from all sides. I mean, the documentaries. And they're all interesting. Because, again, they're fighting for their free country, right? That's not a bad thing. I'm not agreeing with what the French did. I don't believe in colonialism. I don't believe in that. I'm just saying the battle was fought by brave men. It was absolutely horrific how many men got lost in 54 days, 57 days? And the French kept saying, we got to hold out one more day. We got to hold out one more day. The Americans will come. The Americans will come. And that was their thought process. So, but yeah, it's going to be fun. I think it'll be fun. We'll figure it out. I might get together with OG and talk to him about it. Lock and Load. He works for Lock and Load. He can come up with some stuff for me using the Axis and Allies. That's about my speed when it comes to tabletop military games. Axis and Allies Risk. On the PC, I go slightly more complicated because the PC helps you with decision making. Sports Time Machine. Al, I sent you my Excel of my strat teams in case you're interested. Thank you very much. I'll check that out. We can have Mr. Utah Mike on to talk about that at some point. Brian Hoxie, I think there is something to be said watching someone stream a game that you really like and they like it just as much as you do. Fun factor is key. Absolutely. If you're streaming, have fun because it comes out in the stream. It makes every person, most every person. I know when I watch people stream and they're having fun, I'm enjoying it. I've watched women do like make toys and things for children or bake, and they're having fun and it's interesting, and I've watched it. I watch many people in our community playing their games. I learn stuff and they're having fun. I love bowling games. I never thought I'd buy a bowling game. Oh, I bought something really cool. Hold on. This is fun. I will never get a strike though. There's a toy store going out of business. Normally it's $12.99, but it was like 50% off. So I got it at what, $6, $7. So it's this little wood thing, right? I've played it a few times. You can't get a strike. It's an impossibility because when the pins fall, even if you move them out of the way, the border here, I don't know if you can see that. This border here, it kind of like keeps them up for a certain point. But you put the little ball right here and you can maneuver it just a little bit. And you just, the little marble down. This little game is so much fun. And again, it's just fun. So, yeah, I play this, and I only play it for like anywhere from 2 to 5 minutes, 7 minutes every so often after I bought it, but it's fun. So been playing a little bit of that. I don't do unboxings, but oh god, they're all gonna fall out. These are great for Filsinger wrestling cards. And I bought a lot of these, and I'm pretty much done with them now because I have enough to do all the wrestling cards I want to use. I can put them in these 4x6 top loaders, and they are Dave Little uses them. Many people use them. Pops Reviews, and they keep your cards nice. They actually have smaller ones if you want to do them for baseball cards. But nice plastic. It's amazing that the dog who comes in here just for a little bit can get hair all over the place. There's actually hair. Can you see the hair trapped in the middle? I don't know how they got in there. But these are great. I recommend these if you want. Fairly cheap. You can get them on sale on Amazon. When they're on sale, I buy a lot of them. But I think I'm good for a while. So these come in really... Again, you can see these. These are 4x6 top loaders and protect valuable photos and documents. Size to fit Ultra Pro 4x6 card sleeves, ultra clear, durable construction. I can't Ultra Pro. They have some this size too, but they're not like the harder version. They're more not flimsy, but like less. So you want to get this type with the baseball guy on it. I thought they called them Ultra something else. They're Ultra Pro. There's 25 in a pack. You get 4. That's 100. I've got about 200 and something, which is enough for the wrestlers I want to use. And when they go on sale, I might tend to pick them up. But I think I'm good there. I think I'm good with Filsinger Games for a while. There's a couple of sites you can go to get a bunch of free cards. And I don't feel bad about it because I spent God knows how much money on Filsinger Wrestling, which I don't mind, but there's some people out there selling cards, and I know where they got them from. Even if they take the photo, like a real photo from, because there's a gentleman who makes free cards all the time. I believe some people who are selling cards take those cards, take that real photo, and they kind of make it into an animation thing, okay? And then they just take the ratings that the guy already did, and they sell those cards. And God bless them, but I won't be purchasing. I can get them free. And when Phil Singer comes out with cards I want from wrestlers they don't have, I'll get them there. That's cool. As we said, Diop was, I think I said Giop. Diop was, yes, very smart man. Very smart man. Arnold Hunter, have you downloaded the all franchise teams for Strategy Pro Football? Not yet. Oh, that's what I wanted to talk about. So if you have Strategy Pro Football 2023, Lee came out with an all franchise team, which are the best players by franchise. And again, the game, it's free. So I'm looking forward to downloading that, possibly doing a tournament, and we'll have some fun with that. I've been playing some 1978 offline. I've been playing 2nd and 10 offline, having a lot of fun with that, having a lot of fun with Pro Strategy Football when I have a chance. I actually played a little strat football the other night, played a quarter. So there's Steve Tate. Hello, Steve. Loving your basketball. I'm so happy because I get Bernard King and the Knicks. The Knicks with Bernard King were my favorite team in the day. I love the Celtics and Larry Bird and Kevin McHale and Parrish and DJ. I love those guys. But Bernard King and the Knicks, that's the only team I would root for against the Celtics, were the Bernard King Knicks. I always loved Bernard King. And thank you so much for the files you create for baseball, now basketball. I'm looking forward to it if you do football. And Steve makes every player. He makes every player himself. He rates every player. He takes we got to have Steve on, and Beatles Eternally. We got to have them on. But I think again, if I'm explaining it wrong, Steve, please correct me. He takes a 5-year period, and then he takes the best 2 or 3 years, and he averages it out, sort of. I think that's the way he does it. But it's phenomenal. It is absolutely phenomenal. JD says he is going to bounce. Take care, my friend. Hope all is well with you and your family. I love you, man. And we will be doing football as long as I have time to do it and I'm able to do it. I hope God gives me the ability to do it once a week, at least with JD. We'll do some football chat, maybe a couple of picks. He's a big Broncos fan, and I hope his team does well. I hope everyone's team does well. Obviously, I want my Patriots to win, but there's players I like who play on different teams. So that's going to be fun. I'm going to write it down because I'm old. I forget stuff. And that will be fun. Hopefully, we have my friend Christopher Anderson on soon. He has obligations he must fulfill, and thank God he does. He's a good man. He's a wonderful human being, Christopher Anderson. And I was in similar circumstances, and his circumstance is slightly tougher than what I was dealing with. Both tough circumstances, but God bless him and his family. As JD says, same here. Love you. Take care, buddy. Steve Tate. 5-year team run and a player's best 2 straight years average. Cool. That's tremendous what you do, Steve. I was playing the basketball. I was having so much fun with it. There's so many things. I'm like, oh, I want to put this on my channel. I want to put that on my channel. We were just talking earlier about, as I'm laughing inside, because Nurse Teresa, I was telling her as she went to bed, I said, I'm only going to chat for an hour. It's an hour and 19 minutes. But I still have coffee. Anyway, back to Mr. Steve Tate. I like to have you on and Beatles on. Talk baseball. And just the knowledge you have, Steve, in creating things. Now, you do a lot of creation in Action PC. I'd like to know how You type in everything, so you must have a way. Do you upload it via Excel? I mean, I've made a few college teams in pro strategy football. That takes me forever. Not to rate stuff, but I hate the typing. And I don't know how to upload into, and I'm sure it's easy. They've tried to explain it to me. I'm just like, I don't get it. But yeah, time flies. Time flies. Time flies. Steve Tate says, happy to talk baseball. I just think it's very interesting. I think you and Beatles and other people, everyone who does baseball has a knowledge of it and has different viewpoints. And what Beatles brings to the table is he focuses on older players and older seasons and older teams, dead ball and probably up to the 30s. And it's very interesting to me. And what Steve Tate does is he can put together files like it's phenomenal. It's phenomenal. Yeah, manually. Fiomon on my spreadsheets. What does that mean? Am I Fiomon on my spreadsheets? And then you put them on your spreadsheets and you upload? Is that how that works? So, but yeah, check them out. They're free. Some of them on the Action PC community site. Or you can email Steve if he knows you, and maybe he can give you the updated version because he has updated versions for the baseball. His baseball's phenomenal. I love the basketball. Just again, I get to play the Knicks. That one is on the Action PC community site because that's where I downloaded it from. National League, American League Baseball's up there too, but I think he's added some more teams. I think. He does wonderful stuff with Beatles. They have a couple of different online leagues with members of the FOC. They drafted teams. So think about the logistics of that. They have, I believe, 8 people in that league. They all drafted teams, and they play them out, and they, from different eras, they have rules about how many you can draft from an era. It's just phenomenal. MV is in the league. Beatles Eternally is in the league. Obviously, Steve Tate, many others. But I've seen MV stream them. And right now, the names of the league is slipping my mind. So Steve Tate can help me with that. But it's fun. I've watched some. It's fun. I've not I've not seen them draft. I don't know if they do that online. I think they do. And that's something I need to watch because I love watching drafts and the thought process there. I did something with Action PC Football where I made the WFL in I think I did 2021, but they drafted players from every decade, every year. But what happened was because I let the PC choose, I don't know if there's a quick way to do it, but I had to click, say, PC choice, and then I would click yes. Probably Steve can tell me there's probably a quicker way to do that. The Howie Shanks League, that's what it is. Thank you. So what happened was all the modern quarterbacks got picked because of their ratings. And I was like, but I was having fun with it. A lot of great running backs from the 60s and 50s got picked. Receivers were mostly modern receivers. So I didn't do that because I just picked the kids at the computer, but I should have set some parameters or something or did it myself, but I didn't want to do it for every team. But it was fun to see who they picked. And I messed up the logos for one team. I think I by accident. It's supposed to be the Chicago Fire, and I think I put the wrong field or something for all the WFL. I found a really cool site that had all the fields, the uniforms, the helmets. So that's always fun. Steve Tate, I crunch all the data and create spreadsheets, but then manually add them to the game. Very tedious. God bless you. That's what I mean. I've done that manually with the pro strategy football. And again, people complain about the ratings. You have to understand people in the community are making those games. I've come across ratings. I was like, oh, I see where they made an error because they probably just looked at yards per carry for the team and just assumed, right? You can always go back and switch the ratings, so if you want. And I think I came across, I want to do a certain game. I'm not going to tell you the teams, but I want to do a certain game. And I looked, I went, wait, there are 2 running backs I knew shouldn't have been sort of rated that high because I knew they didn't carry the ball just because I know that team, right? And what they did, I think, was just look at average. They had the starting running backs rated properly, in my opinion. The backups were not rated properly. They're rated way too high, way too high. They only averaged 2 yards a carry, and they only carried the ball a couple of times a game because the other 2 backs were so dominant. So you can go in and adjust that. When I make teams, and I don't make many teams because it's tedious, I'd rather play than make teams. I tend to not give a lot of 9s and 8s. I tend to give more 7s. And actually, if you give 9s and 8s and the other teams get 9s and 8s, it evens out. But I tend to give more 7s and 6s. Also, I tend to put the fatigue rating lower because I want the running backs, at least the running backs, to be subbed out more a little bit. Very fun game. Love it. Look forward to 2024. Look forward to the all-time greats franchise. We'll be seeing that on my channel soon. Haven't had much time to really work with and I don't do much except some of the voice stuff and beta test. I haven't had much time to really, I try to follow I'm on the beta team. I try to follow all the emails that come, but life happens first. So, and hopefully I can help them out a bit as in the past, but if not, that's fine too. I'll continue to enjoy the game. Steve Tate, our new approach is to select a year and a team from a random generator, and then you have to draft for that team. So if you get the 1930s and the Red Sox, you would have to select from them. Got it. So 1930 Red Sox, you have to take a player from them. That's really cool. That is cool. I have my camera lined up here just because I have 2 screens, and this screen is an older screen. It's thicker. This screen is a newer screen. It's thinner. The camera doesn't sit well. So that's why I look here and I go there. Steve Tate, hoping to broadcast tomorrow and may focus on how I create players and teams, etc. Very cool. If I can't catch it live, I will definitely catch that in replay. And there he is, Beatles Eternally. His ears must have been ringing. I was saying a lot of nice things about you, Beatles. Got to have you and Steve on, talk some baseball. He has wonderful chats. And what I like about Beatles streams, he plays the games and he talks. He doesn't care. I mean, it's good. I mean, in a good way. I do the same thing. I'm going to talk to the chat. There are people showing up. I'm sorry if my streams don't go 30 minutes when I play a game. I'm sorry. Actually, I'm not. Because if people show up to my chat, I want to converse with them. They're taking time out to spend it with me. You know, and Beatles does a wonderful job with that. Wonderful job. Check out his fabulous channel along with Steve Tate. Lots of baseball knowledge there. You know. And there are people who don't like my streams. That's cool. There are people who leave not so nice comments that don't see the light of day. You know why? I read them. And if there's some not nice terminology in there, they ain't getting posted. If it's a, okay terminology and they're not being an a-hole, I might post it. Because again, it's my channel, right? My channel. It's about having fun. I really don't care if you don't like what I do. Don't care. Don't. And you're not going to bring anyone else down. You're not going to bring me down. I tell you, I'm on Facebook and I never understand people who criticize other people for playing a game. Oh, you didn't do that right. Oh, that's a stupid game. No, it's not. You don't like it. That's cool. You don't want to play it that way. That's cool too. Why does someone have to poop on someone else who's having fun? Someone wants to share what they did, whether it's on Facebook, and that's all I do. I don't go to, what's that called? It's a cool site. I don't really go there much, where people post the Delphi. That's fine, but if someone wants to play a game the way the game they want, the way they want, and you don't like it, move on. I don't know. Just enjoy. I don't get it. You're doing it wrong. Oh, no, I'm not. I'm playing the way I want. And that's not just for me. I've seen people post stuff on the Facebook group pages, and everyone's cordial. But every once in a while, oh, it's a stupid game. Why'd you play that game? Maybe I'm paraphrasing. Maybe they didn't use stupid. Oh, that game is so old. Why'd you play that old baseball game? It's not relevant. Well, to that person, it was relevant. And you know what? I was enjoying reading it. I was enjoying that they put a little stream up, and I was able to, uploaded some video of some of these old fabulous baseball games on the PC that are brilliant for their day and age and still brilliant. And in fact, some gaming companies that do PC games could learn from them. Beatles saying hello. Well said. Thank you. I just don't get it. I don't get it. I already went on my little social rant, and it wasn't even a rant. It's about treating everyone nice, the way you want to be treated, taking care of the elderly, taking care of young children, people in need, helping them. Can't help everybody. Some people don't want to be helped. You know what? Bad criminals, you know where they belong? In jail. So they can't hurt anybody. But Salvador America's still with us. Awesome sauce. All games bring something to the table. I agree. I mean, there are games I don't like. It doesn't mean they're bad games. It means I just don't. They're not for me. They're not for me. I don't think I've ever put. I'm honestly trying to think. I don't think I've ever put a negative comment regarding a game or the way someone plays it. I don't get that. I do not, and I don't get it. Have I been upset with companies and spoken my mind about a company? Yes, I have. Yes, I have. Have I spoken my mind regarding people I've tried to buy stuff offline? Like bootleg cards? Yep, because they were wrong. They were wrong. I pay you money. I expect to get my stuff. Don't package it crappy. Not my problem. Give me my stuff. I got it. They honored it. I had to bring them to the table, though. And then a certain group of people are saying, oh, that's horrible what you did. Really? Because I paid that person money, but I didn't have my cards. I want my cards. And that person had done it a few times to other people that I found out. I had people message me, okay, on Facebook saying, oh, I'm happy you did that because the same thing happened to me. But they wouldn't back me up on that Facebook group page. That's why I very rarely go to that Facebook group page. It's nonsense. If you're selling something, you need to know how to package it properly. That's all. Anyway, that's enough about that. Steve Tate, fun thing in those that broadcast in this sim community, all do their own thing. Speak of it English, Al. All do their own thing and have their own style, preferences, and projects. Absolutely. Absolutely. If you don't like my channel, cool. Move on and go somewhere else. I had a person grade me, okay? But they grade me in a way that they're obnoxious, right? So I gave an obnoxious comment back. I actually put it up and let it stay for a while. And then I kept reading it. I was like, why does someone else have to read this? One, they were obnoxious. Two, I was obnoxious back to them. You know what? No one needs to read that. It's not what we're about. But sometimes someone just needles you, and you just want to sit there and go, they think they can get away with it, I'm going to, but variety is good. Beatles eternally. Agree there as well. I'm not a fan of PC replay baseball myself, but I like seeing you and Bernard Strom play it. I love it. The fun game. I don't think I would enjoy it card and dice too much, but I like the PC, and it's funny. You start to remember, because the cool thing with PC replay baseball, there's a free demo. You can get all the charts and print them up, or just PDF and look at them. I actually printed them up. I read them through. I would roll the dice, and I would kind of figure it out. I don't need to know the game perfectly. I have it down pretty much, I'm going to say 80%. 85%, sometimes 90, 85%. I know what's a good roll and what's not a good roll. Or other words, a good roll for the batting team and what's a good roll for the pitching team. Sometimes I still get it mixed up a little bit, like, oh, I think that's a hit, and it turns into a line drive, out. But you start to remember, so that's fun. And I do like that game. Salvador America. I do not play inside pitch, but RJL plays it well, and I like watching him. RJL does a marvelous job. Yeah, that's a game I've looked at. I played a little bit of the demo, and the demo you had to pay, I think, a couple of bucks, which is cool. It just wasn't for me at this point in time. Also, I think sometimes when you invest a lot in it, another game, I kind of want to play. I like Strat Baseball. I have a lot of Strat Baseball stuff. I want to play it. I like History Maker Baseball. I'm playing that. I got to get back to Pine Tar. It's pretty much an obsolete game now, but it's very fun. It's very fun. Well done out. Kurt Berglund was doing seasons, and the gentleman who owned it was doing seasons, but I guess health issues or just doesn't want to do it anymore. But Pine Tar is a fun game. I don't know if you can even still buy it. Probably you can on PDF, but fun game, plays quick. And it's not always about playing quick, but it's a fun game. Interesting take on pitching, I thought. Home and away, and after the first, after the first, when you go through the batters, the third time you hit the order, sometimes your grade goes down, sometimes and I might have that wrong, but after so many times through the order, because I haven't played in a while, your pitching grade might go down. Sometimes you get stronger and the pitching grade goes up. It's cool. Interesting way of thinking of things. Salvador America. I'm part of a bootleg group and ordered a set twice and never got it. That's what I'm talking about. Okay. Salvador America. Email me. I'm going to send you a link. Lots of free cards. Lots of free cards. Lots of free cards. Are you talking Filsinger games or something else? Salvador America. I messaged the guy. He just said it was lost in the mail, and that was that. See, that's wrong. I hate that. And that would have happened to me. But I called the guy out. Now, again, to his credit, a little bit, he did send it to me. Also sent me a note saying how I should apologize to him. And my response back was, at least you now know how to properly package these cards when I paid a good amount of money. Okay. And again, I personally think some of these guys are just looking at these free cards, getting the ratings from that, because guess what? They're similar. I have them. I've looked. I've seen other cards. They're similar. Okay. There's a wonderful. It is Filsinger. Okay. It is Filsinger. Salvador. You know what? I'm going to, I don't think I can do it in StreamYard. Give me a moment. I'm going to try it. It's a great free link. And again, I spent a lot of money on Filsinger cards. I don't feel bad. I didn't put these cards up. Someone else did. Here's what I advise you. If you find a good site with free stuff, download everything you want when you find it. Don't wait, because sometimes those links go away. Sometimes people pull that stuff off Google. It's a Google site, you know. But Salvador, if I can't load it because I'm in StreamYard, leave a message with some sort of email that you feel comfortable with, and I will email you the Google link, the site to Google or whatever it's called. I hate that. I feel bad for you. It sucks. You paid money, you didn't get your sets. That's BS. And these guys get away with it. It drives me nuts. And then I get called, made to feel like the bad guy from, a group. I'm not saying they call me that, but just defending someone who was wrong. And there's other people who we just had Salvador say it. He didn't get his cards. Still hasn't. He paid his money. Brian Hoxie. Speak of English now. Sometimes I watch someone playing a game and not handling a situation rule like I would. Right or wrong, who cares? Does it bug me sometimes? Yep. But good grief, it's not going to end the world. Here's the thing. If I mess up something, I don't mind someone telling me I did something wrong, but explain it to me. And then I try to History Maker Baseball. I've taken notes. When I make something, and I'll make mistakes, and sometimes I decide I don't want to go with that rule because I played a little differently, but I stay within the framework of the game. That's fine too. But I appreciated all the people who helped me on History Maker Baseball, History Maker Golf, History Maker Tennis, which I gotta get back to. I think I'm gonna buy the tennis hard. I bought the PDF when they had the Christmas sale. I have that Excel set up, but I like rolling the dice. I can't believe how much I like saying, is the guy like for golf, a duffer? Is he a king? It's fun to me. And then it becomes second hand when you remember. Steve Tate, I wish Dynasty League wasn't online only. I agree. That's one I would like to dabble in as well. The CD-ROM had the CD-ROM years ago and lost it. Just would rather own it than rent month by month. I agree. And it's Filsinger Games. And hold on a second, folks. Nurse Teresa was correct. I said I was going to do around an hour and 41 with 8 seconds and counting, and we still have 21 people watching, and we're having a good time. So if you're watching and you want, jump in the chat and just, what are you playing? How's everything going? What are your movies you're watching? Okay. Fun sports movies. One I have to watch again. I haven't watched in a while. Hoosiers. Got to watch Hoosiers again. The other one I was thinking about, I haven't watched in a while. As Steve Tate says, it's only midnight in Utah. One of the most famous boxers from Utah. Steve, oh God, I'm going to mess it up now. Gene Fullmer. I almost said Steve Fullmer. Gene Fullmer and his brother. But Gene was a middleweight champ a few times. Very tough fighter. Beat Sugar Ray Robinson. Robinson beat him back. But Gene Fullmer. Sports Time Machine. Exactly. All right, let's see if I can do this. Bear with me a moment. Slide this here. Do this. I'm going to try to. I don't think it lets me put links in StreamYard for some reason. I don't know. Let me try. This is for Salvatore America. I hope you're still there. Bookmarks. Yeah, I just recommend if you find a cool site that has things you like that you can download for free, download them. Even if you don't use it, you have it. And then if you don't want it, you can get rid of it. All right, where is it? Farther down. Here we go. I think it's this one. Nope, that is the History Maker stuff. Shoot. All right, come on, Al. Let's find this. Shared. Okay, Salvador's still there. Cool. Bear with me a moment. I have so many links I've saved, bookmarked. It's not that one. Oh, here it is. Just read the title. LOL Bootlegs. LOW. Okay. I'm going to show you these. And I don't feel bad because I've bought the game and I didn't put these things up. Someone put them up. I didn't. But there's a lot you can find pretty much any wrestler you want. And I'll still buy stuff from Filsinger because I like the artwork. So let's do the old first. Let's try to get the link. I don't tell me if this works. I can't remember if these work. I think they do. Can someone click on the link I just put in there and tell me if it works? Because I can't remember if it works in StreamYard or it doesn't. Okay. Steve Tate, which I knew. Steve Tate said, I'm retired from the Albuquerque Police Department years ago and worked. Yes, you told me that. Bob Foster. Bob Foster was in law enforcement. That is awesome, my friend. It works. Thank you. Okay. Okay. Because I don't like when people pay money and they don't get their stuff. Thank you. Thank you. It works. And the other thing that's funny, I get people, you do YouTube to make money. Really? Really? So when someone decides they want to donate to my channel, I have to get hate comments. I don't ask them to. I appreciate anyone spending time. I always say, let the ads run. If they're not too long, let the ads run. YouTube, on whatever you make, YouTube takes almost 40% of it. And that's cool. And believe me, none of us make a ton of money, but it just goes right back into buying games. Anyhow. All right. Let's see. Salvador's there. Okay, cool. I lost my place. There's Willard Bean, former middleweight champion from Utah, won the title in 1905. Movie based on him called The Fighting Preacher. I did not know that. I'll have to check that out. Gene Fulmer, also a middleweight champion from Utah. Fighting Mormon, they called him. And Salvador, just check out that set, check out that link. Check it out. I'm going to show you a real cool one. So I'm going to show a little bit of wrestling stuff. Just a little bit. Oh, here's my friend Pop's review. We're going to have Pops on in the near future. Hope all is well. Our good friend from the great white north. You do that when you can. So, and I'm going to anyone who has Filsinger games, I'm going to show you something real quick. I got to remember how to share. Okay. So let's do bootleg sets. And let's do this one first. I'm only going to show you a couple, but they're really cool. And hopefully I remember how to do this. Now we do share. Is it present? Share screen. Share screen. And this one here. There we go. Okay. How do I make this bigger? Do I go like this? Yes. Okay. And now I got to remember to click over here. So these are all free cards, but I'm going to show you a really cool set. Lots of cool sets here. Now, if black and white bothers you, these cards are not for you. But I want to show you, if you're a WWF fan, Crockett Cup was cool. I'm going to show you some really cool stuff. They have some that are in color. Where is it? Memphis 77. This is it. So, Legends of WrestleMania PDF set. These are free. Someone uploaded them. I didn't. Hulk Hogan. Free. See? Ratings. Look at this. See? Okay. Andre the Giant. Now, I have two different Filsinger cards for Andre the Giant that I bought. But this is a nice one to have, too. It's when he's a bad guy. And again, you can make anyone a bad guy or good guy. It's wrestling. Jake the Snake, Paul Orndorff. And I'm going to show you another thing. Superstar Billy Graham, he just passed away. Bruno Sammartino. Bam Bam Bigelow. So you get the idea, right? And they even have, how can I go quicker to here? They have Bret the Hitman Hart, Stone Cold, Kane. I never liked the Undertaker cards I've come across. Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns, He's probably, I like Roman Reigns. I'm an AEW guy, but I like Roman Reigns. So they have modern wrestlers too. I hate this card. Finn Balor card is stupid. The Rock, Triple H, Shawn Michaels, Vince McMahon on steroids, Ultimate Warrior on more steroids, Ric Flair, an older Ric Flair. You can see his pin rating's a 2. Yes, it is great content. That's what I'm trying to show you. Oh, I'm talking about this. But okay, so these are free, right? So if you like Phil Singer Games Wrestling, I suggest you download these. You like, I'm not really familiar with Tim Storm, but I do like Nick Aldis, and this is a pretty cool card. All right. So you have this set, right? And then what? Oh, I like 1985. You like 1985 WWF? Look. Okay. And so, again, I'm not still buy Filsinger cards as I do when you find the sets you like, but I just don't think it's right that people buy sets online, and some bootlegs they get. Some people are better than others, but I put my foot in the water, and I did not have a good result. Good night, Pops Review. Thank you for stopping by, my friend. And one more I'd like to show you. If you're, again, a wrestling fan, a Phil Singer Games fan, just go back again and go to, is it single? No, go bootleg sets. These are really, now these are photos, but good God Almighty, pretty much every wrestler you've ever imagined. Again, you have to find your sets that you like. I suggest is an easy way. You download them all. You click on, I forgot how to do it, but you can just click on it, like click here, more actions, download, bam, you get the whole set. So, Legends of Memphis, this is the one you want to do right here. You'll see in a moment. So they give you the book, and then these are awesome. Look at this. I did this using Excel, so I didn't have to print them all up, but we did Harley Race, Jerry Lawler, Iron Man match, 60 minutes. That was fun. But these are, and if you print them, you just print them double-sided. So you'd print them, and then you flip it. Well, the printer I have, it does double-sided, but I didn't want to print them all. I used the Excel snippet. They even give you some special charts in this one. So that's pretty cool. Pokey Productions. Again, let's go back here. I love this set. This is like Hawaii wrestling. This is Billy Robinson up here. So these are beautiful. Now, what some of these bootleggers are doing, I believe, is they take some of these sets, not necessarily this one, and they take, say, this picture, and again, not necessarily this one, and they turn it into some sort of animation, okay? Did I put? Yes, I did. It's on there. It's really fun. It was, I did, and again, I used Excel and snippets, so I don't have to print all this stuff. There are some of them I've printed because I like to have the card and dice. I like AEW, so like right here, and if you're on the Poke Productions Facebook group page, he has some stuff there, a lot of stuff there too. You like AEW wrestling? Yeah. So this is another one. I like AWA wrestling. I like AEW wrestling now, but I like AWA also. Here, Crockett Cup. This is phenomenal. Look at this. This is the Crockett Cup 19. What the heck? They have the year here. Now I can't find it. Is it 86? 86. Crockett Cup 86. Road Warriors. Magnum TA. Ronnie Garvin. This is the whole Crockett Cup. All the tag teams and the single matches. Phenomenal. Look at this. Free. Yeah, it was a fun match, Salvador America. Rick Martel, Dino Bravo. This is the Barbarian and Baron von Raschke were a tag team. This was an interesting one to me. Steve Williams and Terry Taylor. Okay. So anyway, if you want, check out the link. Look at all the wonderful free cards. Again, you don't have to print them all. Print what you want. They have these other fun things, and I'll just show you. They have this magazine or online, whatever, but it's this PWI ratings. They rate wrestlers every year. And so let's look at the 2021 PWI. And I think they have 2022 on the Poke Productions Facebook group page or here somewhere. But let's just look at this one here. Kenny Omega. I like Kenny Omega. I like Brian. That's another wrestler I like Brian Lashley. But I mean, again, like the first 15 guys are usually pin ratings of 1. John Moxley. So you'll see Moxley's a 1. And again, you can change these ratings. You don't have to go by. I mean, you don't have to change them on here, but like when you're playing, you can say, well, I don't think you can say the guy's wrestling. Like if I wrestle the Von Erichs in Texas, their pin rating goes down. They never really lost in Texas. Will Ospreay, that's a great card. So anyway, check this out. You might find something here you like. And, you might also still want to use buy bootlegs. And obviously, always check out the wonderful cards on Filsinger. They're beautiful. I have many a set. And I don't regret it. I enjoy the game. Florida Wrestling's good. Here's Eddie Graham. But that's a promoter card, but there's actually an Eddie Graham card. So that's that. Hope, again, link was posted. Hope you enjoy it. And just one last thing on this. Go back again. You have 2 different ones. This is the single set. You can find single wrestlers. What I was happy about this was there's a Lord Alfred Hayes, which is cool. I'm going to be using him at some point. There's also a Steve Regal. So, and hopefully this doesn't make up for the money you spent, Salvador America, that you didn't get your cards and you did it twice. And I feel your pain, believe me. I hope you can find a lot of fun stuff, and I think you will. So that's that. Let's stop sharing. Okay. And close that out. Let's get caught up with the chat. I'm going to go a little while longer. I'm just going to get caught up with the chat here. Pop's Review said goodnight. Brian Hoxie. I never been a huge wrestling fan, but wow, some of those names from the 80s brings back memories. Oh, yeah. And what's fun about wrestling, again, I get it. It's choreographed. The stuff they do even now is insane. Some of them go a little too far. That's why they hurt themselves. It's interesting trying to figure out the storylines. It's interesting to find out the politics. The backdoor politics is interesting. I enjoy my wrestling games. I treat them like a crazy MMA. MMA is crazy anyway, but I treat it like an MMA. Oh, wow. 17 people still, and it's 2:22 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, United States of America. What else? Well, I'm coming to an end of the stream soon. So, anyone remember the White Shadow? There's actually a basketball game called I came across it. I've been I go on Amazon now, and I keep looking at this Vince Lombardi game, but I have it. It's the same as Fran Tarkin in football. I just wanted to get like a better. I wanted to get the cards, the defensive cards again, and I'm going to bring that. I have a better setup now with the camera that I'm actually going to do a couple of Super Bowl teams or playoff teams. Like I made some teams, and we way back. And we have that on the channel, but the setup was it was like a side view. That's the other thing. Some people go like, your setup is stupid. Well, at the time, it was the best setup I could do. Or your camera doesn't, I know that. That's why I bought another camera. which is fine. But again, when they're rude, it drives me a little insane. But I'm not letting that stuff get to me. I don't answer back anymore. So, yeah, the White Shadow. There's actually a basketball. I'm almost positive I came across it because I was looking for Status Pro basketball. I came across that, but they wanted way too much money. Way too much money. I loved the White Shadow. I watched it weekly, enjoyed it. Where he was a former Chicago Bulls player, blew his knee out, and then went to an inner city Los Angeles high school, I believe it was. His former high school, I think. Or he knew the principal. It was a great show. I loved it. Salvador America. Awesome TV show. Yeah, it was. Brian Hoxie. That being said, I just bought Play Wrestling game. Haven't got into it yet, but looking forward to it. Go to the free stuff on Play, the link in the Facebook group page. They have someone made Real Wrestlers, a good set, because I've been looking at the Play Wrestling game too, but I've invested so much in the other wrestling games. But I think I might enjoy that too. So much fun. That's a great show. Carver High. You are correct. Carver High, Mr. Utah Mike. SGJ Jamie. I didn't watch The White Shadow when it was originally on. Probably past my bedtime. But yes, ESPN Classic would put it on. That was awesome. I enjoyed the reruns. I want to say it lasted 4 seasons, 4 or 5. Salvador America. Sometimes people just need to chill and enjoy the company and not look for a perfect production. He knew the principal. Okay, I was trying to remember. I love that TV show. That's like when they took Planet of the Apes TV show was on twice on CBS, and both times they had decent ratings, and they just took them off the air. It pissed me off when I was young. I enjoyed. Again, it wasn't the same as the movies. The production value, though, it wasn't that bad because the last production, the Battle for the Planet of the Apes, the production value was pretty poor. Still a fun movie. Great series, sci-fi series, the original Planet of the Apes. I've seen every Planet of the Apes movie ever made, and I like them all. Some I like better than others. The old ones, the oh God, what's that guy's name? He did the one with Mark Wahlberg. The director, he did Nightmare Before Christmas. Edward Scissorhands. Oh, I can't. Drives me nuts when I can't remember names and I can see the person. SGJ Jamie. Funny, it ended up being connected to St. Elsewhere Universe. Oh, interesting. Yes, I remember those too, Salvador America. Disney movies of the week on Sunday nights. When it was when I was a kid in summertime, I loved them. Loved them. Tim Burton, thank you. Tim Burton did the Planet of the Apes with Mark Wahlberg. Interesting take on it. I enjoyed it. I like them all. There's some I like better. Better. Speak of the English, Al. Speak of the English. Better than others. I love the original with Charlton Heston. Big Charlton Heston fan. Movie was excellent. Escape from Planet of the Apes, as I got older, is probably my close third, tied for second with Conquest of the Planet of the Apes. Then the new ones they made, the first one with not Mark DeFranco, what the hell's that guy? James Franco. And the other ones, Woody Harrelson, they're all good movies. And I love the way they explained in the new ones, like the new one, the very first new one with James Franco, how the disease infected the humans, how, that's my, it's just the hair. It looked like I had blood. But it was awesome. And then how they did a homage in the beginning to the hunt scene of the original, except it was humans hunting in the jungle to get the primates to do tests on. 78 through 81 was the show. Awesome. I enjoyed The White Shadow. Sunday nights, I remember watching Chips and cars exploding everywhere. I thought when I watched Chips, it was Friday or Saturday. Again, I could be wrong. I remember watching TJ Hooker on Saturdays. Oh, I loved Hill Street Blues. Awesome TV show. I could never watch another police show after that. I just loved Hill Street Blues. Didn't get really into NYPD Blues, but I loved Hill Street Blues. Beretta and Starsky Hutch. I watched those too. Beretta had the parrot. Starsky and Hutch had the cool car. Was it Michael Soul? He was in that's Scary Made for TV, or I watched it on TV what the hell? The Vampires, The Town. Why can't I remember? Oh God, what was it called? It was a big, like a community of vampires. Salem's Lot. That scared the poop out of me as a kid. My favorite of the original battle. Fred the Parrot. Salvador America remembers the parrot's name. Robert Conrad. Robert Conrad. Let's be careful out there. The Sergeant. Was his real name? When you say Conrad, you know what I think of? Baba Black Sheep. And that was, and he was also Wild Wild West, Conrad. And then I used to, when Gabe Kaplan beat Conrad, Battle of the Network Superstars in the runoff, in the race, when they didn't want to share points. I used to love Battle of the Network Stars. That was awesome. Fun stuff when we were kids. Later, when he passed, Betty Thomas took over as desk sergeant. And they had someone else after, too. Before Betty Thomas, I think. Another older gentleman. Or maybe he came after. Well, do you remember he was in The Longest Yard, the original? Battle of Planet of the Apes. That was, Michael Conrad. Okay. Yeah, because Robert Conrad's Baba Black Sheep. Wild Wild West. He was on a lot of TV series, like you're on one episode. He was on Columbo. Columbo was a fun show. I loved Columbo. SGJ Jamie. Speaking of sports-themed TV shows and blues, I like Bay City Blues, about a minor league baseball team, but got canceled pretty quick. Had Dennis Franz as the pitching coach. I don't remember that one. I watched, and this was a comedy on HBO with, what the hell? I'm horrible with names. It was a comedy, and the guy thought he was getting a contract. He didn't get the contract. He was a gym teacher. He was a former major leaguer. Danny McBride played him. Oh, God, it was funny. Eastbound and Down. That was awesome. It was so much fun. SWAT. Who was a sniper? It was Dan Tana. Robert York played the sniper guy who never hit anything. He was a horrible sniper. Alice was on CBS. Kiss my grits. That's what Flo used to say. Then after Alice was One Day at a Time, I believe. At least when I watched. This is it. This is it. Who didn't have a crush on Valerie Bertinelli? I dated her. She just didn't know it. Boom, boom. All right, people. I'm going to finish up my little coffee here. Attempt to sleep at some point. Couple more minutes. Nurse Teresa was correct. She said, you will not do just 1 hour. And I said, yes, Nurse Teresa, my lovely wife. I will just do 1 hour. 1 hour of chat power. I've gone 2 hours and 9 minutes now. One of the 90s kindred, The Embrace. SGJ Jamie. Columbo. Whenever I take a car to the top to the shop. The mechanic is always like Columbo with just one more thing, and the bill goes up. Boom, boom, boom. That's when you knew Columbo had you. He'd go, just one more thing. And I'd watch and I go, he's got him. Do you know what was, you can find this Columbo episode on YouTube. Dick Van Dyke is on it and he's the villain. He kills his wife. I mean, you know that already. It's just how does Columbo figure it out? It was awesome. Then how does Columbo catch him? Look that one up. Look up Columbo. Go YouTube Columbo Dick Van Dyke. That whole episode's on YouTube. It is awesome. As Salvador America says, it's been fun. Thank you very much. Again, enjoy that link. Lots of free stuff on there. I try to help out the community as much as possible. When I come across photos, I upload, I put them on the Facebook group pages so people can enjoy the sports photo, to put in the games, your PC games. I find links. Just like Beatles Eternally. When he finds something, he puts it and he shows people. And that's awesome. Yes. Those were the lizard people, weren't they? I remember that show. Quincy. I didn't watch too much Quincy, but I liked it. Odd Couple. Yes. Felix and Oscar. Who was Quincy? Pow, bam, pow, boom. The original Batman. SGJ Jamie, love the V miniseries. You didn't get miniseries. You don't get miniseries much anymore. Original Batman was fun. MASH was great. Love MASH. It got dark at the end. The 2 episodes, the whole thing with, can you make that chicken be quiet? Yeah, I'm not going to go through that because it'll make me cry again. They weren't talking about a chicken. That's sad. Jack Klugman. Yeah. Jack Klugman was in a lot of, or I shouldn't say a lot, but he was in some 60s Westerns, spot episodes. I tell you I'm going to tell you, if you like old Western TV shows, Cheyenne, freaking awesome. Loved Cheyenne. God rest my dad's soul. Especially when he had the cancer and he was coming to an end, and we always watched Westerns anyway, but it was tough for me to go back and watch stuff now. It still is. Some stuff I don't watch that I used to watch with my mom or my dad. I just don't. But Cheyenne's a good Western. Lawman's a good Western. Gunsmoke, the black and white ones, woof. They touched on stuff you wouldn't even think they'd touch on stuff like nowadays. Unbelievable. And then, you had Marshall Dillon with the slap, like when he slapped the crap out of bad guys, it was the best. Ooh, the Rifleman with Chuck Connors. Chuck Connors played Major League Baseball. He actually did play a few games in Brooklyn. I believe I'm correct with that. Played for the Celtics. Okay? And I think he was offered a football contract. And he was a TV and movie star. Chuck Connors. One time, it's a true story, my dad played golf with him because he came to Springfield. You say, how did Chuck Connors come to Springfield? Well, he played for the Montreal, what the heck were they called? Royals? They were the farm team for the Brooklyn Dodgers, and back then, Springfield had the Chicago, they were called the Springfield Cubs. The Chicago Cubs farm team, they were AA then. I think AA. And he came down, and someone my dad knew Chuck Connors, and they all played golf when my dad was very young. That's pretty cool. My dad always loved Chuck Connors. Said he was a wicked nice guy. He met him a couple of times. Wicked nice guy. SGJ Jamie, I think I learned more history watching historical miniseries in the 70s and 80s. They had some great Winds of War, Roots, and people can debate about whether they're whatever, but I enjoyed those. And there's other ones. Oh, Shogun. Remember Shogun? That was cool. That was a good one. And again, when it's even if it's an adaptation of a book, when someone makes it into a movie, they're going to possibly change it a bit. Memories are great to have. Yes, they are. Brian Hoxie, 1980 Friday nights on CBS. The Incredible Hulk, Dukes of Hazzard, and Dallas. I remember Dukes of Hazzard. Dallas. I remember Dallas. Who shot Larry Hagman? Who shot JR? Who didn't have a crush on I Dream of Jeannie? I Dream of Jeannie. I'm getting tired now. I had a relationship with her too. She didn't know about it. Even if they bring a tear, yes, it's true. It's true. It's true, my friend. Fantastic story, Al. Amazing. The people our parents met in there. He always, anytime something came on with Chuck Connors, he'd tell me that story. And then, like, you sit there and go, is he telling the truth? And then my uncle tells me, goes, no, he's telling you the truth. He met Chuck Connors, played golf with him twice. Because this is when Chuck Connors was young. And he was still playing baseball. And he was pretty good, my dad said. But they had Gil Hodges, and he wasn't going to break in at first. And they had somebody else, too. I forgot. But, yeah. North and South. That was a good one. Yes. Salvador America says, I dated Catherine Bach, but she didn't know it either. I might have cheated on her with you. I mean, I might have cheated with her on you or something. I dated her too a bit. Daisy Dukes. SGJ Jamie, my dad brushed with greatness. Meeting Roger Hornsby. That is cool. That's cool. So, but yeah, the Rifleman's fun. Gunsmoke. I used to watch Gunsmoke after school, but they were the color versions. You know, when they did color. Until it's not even around. We had the Western Channel. I never seen the black and white ones, and they were phenomenal. Burt Reynolds was on them. Dennis Weaver was on them. Oh, God. What the hell was a Dennis Weaver show? He was a Texas Ranger in New York. What the hell was that called? Remember he'd be riding the horse in New York in the beginning? What was that called? That was fun. I used to watch that. You remember Cannon, the private investigator who was the heavyset guy who would hide behind the real thin trees and have a shootout? Like, that tree is not going to protect him. He looked like Oliver Hardy. That's what he reminded me of. Salvador America. My mom and aunt met JFK when he was senator. Very cool. The Wild Wild West. Those were fun. What the heck was that? Oh, God. Can't remember it. Dennis Weaver. McLeod. I think it was called McLeod. It just came to me. McLeod. I was going through the brain cells. Adam 12. Emergency. That was good. SGJ Jamie. Another good miniseries. Sentinel. Yes. He was a trapper. French-Canadian trapper, right? I remember that one with Robert Conrad. That was good. Wow. I forgot about that one. Heart to Heart. They were detectives. Husband and wife team, right? What was another one? Oh, Rockford Files. Rockford Files. Love James Gardner. Any MST3K fans here? What is that, Beatles? We're going to end the stream soon. Battlestar Galactica. Buck Rogers of the with Gil Gerard. Buck Rogers. And the woman on there was hot looking. I had a relationship with her. Mystery Science Theater. Oh, yes. They used to make fun of the movies, right? That was fun. They had the two robots and you saw the silhouette. I remember that. That was fun. I think that was on Comedy Central. Mystery Science Theater 3. Were they the robots that made the fun of people, like made fun of the movies? Land of the Lost was on Saturday mornings. Lost in Space, danger, Willa Robinson, danger. I watched that after school. Or actually, no. I watched that during the summers. Brian Hoxie. How many different directions did this stream take? Love it. Chats with Al, always great. You got to talk about everything. And again, the stuff I said earlier, I don't think I offended anybody. I'm just telling you the way. You got to help people when you can. And Beatles would tell you, I am not a, how can I say this? I believe in helping people. I'm not a raving liberal. And there's nothing wrong with being liberal. There's nothing. I'm moderate to conservative, but you need to help people. And, you know, you can't keep saying everyone on this side's horrible and everyone on this side's horrible. You have to come together or we ain't going to get nowhere. It's like being in a boat with two paddles, and you got to get to the other side, we'll say, right? To the other side, to the other bank, right? Right? And if you don't, you're going to be swallowed up or something, right? And if jackass number 1 is arguing with jackass number 2, right? And no one starts rowing in the right effing direction, you're going to get swallowed up and eaten, right? Right? So jackass number 1 and jackass number 2 better get together and start rowing that effing boat to get to the other side of the bank and not get eaten up. Simple as that. All right, it was with the two robots. That was funny. Goon. That's a movie. That's a hockey player, I think. I haven't watched that yet. I have it in my I don't even know if it's still on Netflix. All right, we're gonna call it a stream soon. My dad loved the Rockford Files. I watched it as a kid, but never really understood it at all. But did like. You're a Magnum PI guy. See, I love the Rockford Files. I refuse to watch Magnum PI. I watched a little bit. I loved the Rockford Files. Bernard, take care, my friend. We're going to be ending it soon. Helping people transcends politics. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Now, there are different ways. You know, I might disagree with someone, but I'm sure I can find like a normal human being. And if the other person's a normal human being, you find the center that will work, because you can't always get what you want. Sometimes you compromise. I already said it. Sometimes people you don't like politically have a good idea. It's true. It's true. Some things that the former president did were good. I'm telling you. You might think some things that the president does now is good. That's fine. But none of them, regardless of party and president, you need to work together. Human beings come first. Human beings come first. You got to do stuff that helps human beings. You can do the whole green thing. That's nice. When people start losing jobs because of it, not good. Not good. Not good. Anyhow, Nurse Teresa just got up. She's going to come mock me. Anyway, you just got to help people. I don't get it. Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
Still on?
Yeah.
Okay.
You're right.
Yep.
Now we're in trouble. All of us. I'm blaming it all on you guys. No, she's fine. She's cool. I love her. She's my wife. My wife. So, anyhow, it's all good. We had a lot of fun. We talked about all kinds of things. And you can mix in a little. I hate to call it politics because it's not. It's just I get upset. I don't get it. I don't get it. I'm not the best person. I'm far from it. I'm far from the worst person too. I don't get it when if someone does something bad, they're bad, right? But now you can't even say that. You can't. And if someone does something good, but God, you can't like them because, they didn't vote for who I voted for or whatever. It's stupid. I always say treat people the way you want to be treated. I try to live that way. Do I always? No, I'm not perfect. None of us are perfect. But I say it. I believe it. I try to. So I'd like to thank everybody. Let's just go through the final little chats here. Ooh. Banana splits. Oh, I remember that. They were the puppets, right? The big puppets. I remember that. Beatles eternally. Jesus doesn't. Right. If a person is conservative, liberal, excuse me. Losing my voice. He cares about what we did for one another. And again, when you can help people, you should try. I mean, you can't always, and I get that. People will row together until they know the politics of others. People will roll together. You got to row. You have to row together, or you're not going to get to the other side of the bank. You're going to sink, and we're doing a good job of sinking, boy. Again, just my opinion. I watch. You need to tell you to save your money, put in a 401k, put in an IRA. It's all gone. It's gone. A lot of it's gone. I am forced, like other people, to put their money in that because there's no pensions anymore. And banks give out crappy interest. I will stop at that. Bring back the 80s. Two parties always did what was best and compromise. Yeah, they did the best they could. It wasn't perfect. Never is, but you can't be cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Again, please don't take this the wrong way. When someone says we can't do anything about a border crisis, I sit there and I shake my head. You just, yes, you can. You have to protect your borders. Doesn't mean you have to be mean, but you just can't let what's going on there. And the media the media is the media. Regardless of what you watch, it's all editorials now. Been like that for a long time. All righty. Yeah. You just got the way it is, Salvador. It's sad. Thank you very much, Beatles. All right, we got to end it. Nurse Teresa's going to kill me. She's going to kill me. Charles. Anyway, I'd like to say thank you to Beatles Eternally. Thank you to Salvador America. Please check out Beatles Eternally's channel. And if you haven't, subscribe. Check out all that fun stuff they do. Steve Tate, check out his channel. Also, thank you to SGJ Jamie, Sports Time Machine, another wonderful YouTube content creator. Bernard Strom, Sports Replays, another fun channel. Brian Hoxie was here. And I'm not going to be able to get everybody. I'm going to just scroll up and try to. We had a very fun chat. So as I see them scrolling up, we're not going to get everybody. So that is that. I usually try to get everyone coming in, say hello to them. I greatly thank you. Appreciate everyone's time. We were all over the spectrum, as one person said. As Brian Hoxie says, how many different directions did the stream take? Love it. Chat with Al, always great. Yes, it is. We're different. And yet we're all the same. Regardless. So stay safe. And Arnold Hunter, we will give you the last word. He says, thank you, Al. Arnold wanted a chat with Al, and by God, we gave him a chat with Al. I'm sure there's some people who wish I never gave a chat with Al tonight. Well, that's fine too. So, Bye-bye. God bless. Love you all. Stay safe. Be smart. Treat people the way you want to be treated. Greatly appreciate your time. Peace.